Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kiki Alexander Dimitri Bailey. And I've been going through some harassment issues on social media. And this all started because of two things. One, I was robbed for everything in 2021. And I was homeless. And there's just nothing I can do about that, you know? For the last 4 years, everyone, I've been trying to get my documents, which I did. You know, I got some stubborn fucking foster parents that refused to, comply at a decent and respectable time. Took me almost 2 years to get both passports and birth certificates and everything I need. But recently, in the past 3 years, there's been a few people that have been visiting this YouTube channel. They think they're the smartest people. When the people actually email anonymously, and I forward these emails to, a law office, these people that are professional asking me, are you talking to children? Are these kids? Because look at this handwriting. This is fucking 7th grade behavior. So I told them, no, these are grown adults. Some of them may be children. Some of them just might be fucking, kids just pretending to be adults, But the thing about anonymous email is they can still be traced. So, and this is why I went down to the law office, actually went down to the courthouse, and then I contacted the law firm that actually helped me get a restraining order for one of my subscribers, named Michelle Gibson. She stopped actually watching my content. She stopped replying because she was ordered to. Like I said, it doesn't matter where the person is. I can still serve the person. But here's the thing. People are missing the point. Why is this going on? It's because one day, I decided to tell my story on another YouTube channel called Invisible People. And when I did, people started making false assumptions because of my dentistry. Mind you, I got my dentures stolen. I got everything stolen. Even my daughter's ashes was in my luggage. I carried this Japanese little totem. Yeah, it was a Japanese totem. And they took that. That was worth fucking $300. That totem was pure fucking gold. But it didn't really belong to me. So, I was pissed off for a while. For a long time, everyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone when that happened. Mind you, for the month of October of 2021, all the way through March 2022, there was rarely any help from anyone on this side of the planet. A friend named David Oyster, which is Australian, decided to, risk his, Australian funds because, the exchange rate is way different. He lost money in the process of helping me. So, people, David Oyster is a renowned, award-winning, professional photographer from Australia. And a lot of Australian friends of mine decided to help me because there was no help coming from anyone here in the States. So when I did go on Invisible People, people started making these fake and false assumptions that I was a drug addict. I was a convicted felon that escaped from prison. It was so many things that were said. But it left a very bad stain on my name. Because I never done drugs, never did any crime, I never committed a crime, I never robbed people, assaulted, I never actually went out there and sold drugs to kids, right? But people are assuming that what I'm doing now by, being homeless, it's not that I'm homeless, everyone. No. Houseless. No. I didn't want this life. But people started making false assumptions. Mind you, I was already in my recovery. Mind you, we were still finishing up my recovery. because I was assaulted in, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I want people to know I was assaulted. I was a victim during the pandemic. My insurance didn't want to cover my hospital expenses or the eye surgery that I needed to recover my eye. Guys, for 6 months, I couldn't see out of my eye. It was terrible. It was really terrible. The burning, the non-sleeping, the excruciating pain on your face. It was terrible. So, ladies and gentlemen, there was a man named Bill Lewis, specifically because I've been saving a lot of people's messages and comments, screenshotting them a lot. But not only that, invisible people share me transcripts of all the comments. See, there's a thing called a transcript on YouTube. You can download the transcripts. And a lot of people don't know that. You can literally download the transcript. So you can see who is doing what. So you can specifically rule out a person. So I started to screenshot every single negative comment from this person. This person said I was a drug dealer, I was a meth user, never did any of such thing. Anyone from Japan, all the way from Boston to New York, to Winnipeg, to Madison, Wisconsin, to Portland, to Seattle, to Vancouver, they will all tell you Panda's never done drugs other than cannabis. This man, Bill Lewis, decided to harass me and continue to harass me. There was a gang of them harassing me on social media, on YouTube. Mind you, I don't know these people. These people don't know me, but they're going based on something they don't even or wasn't even aware of. You wasn't aware of my presence before? Why now? So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been dealing with a lot of harassment on YouTube. And I'm sharing this story because it really damaged my name as a photographer. And Bill Lewis is responsible, along with other people like Michelle Gibson and everyone. That's why I had no choice to get filed a cease to desist and a restraining order against Michelle Gibson. I also did it to John P. Herrera. Now, John P. Herrera was a man I used to work with at Porchlight in Wisconsin. Turns out when I was doing the background check on these accounts and was doing, mind you, my research, the IP address was coming from Baraboo, Wisconsin. I was like, that's strange. That's where John P. Herrera had his first arrest. So I started doing a little bit of digging. Turns out this whole entire time for the last 3 years, or 2.5 years, right? He was the one behind another YouTube account, The Panda Bum. So, ladies and gentlemen, not only I caught this person using that name, but recently that person used that same name again to bring up a point. That's like, you the same person. Why would you bring that specific name, that account up? Because you were a gang of trolls that think you know everything. You never served your country, you never worked for your country, you never contribute to your country, you never actually volunteer for your country. This is why I told everyone, please do your research on me. Do a background check on me. You will see that I work for state government. I work for 501c3 in Portland, in Oregon, Portland for 2 years. I supported homeless rights. And not only that, the rights of many in Portland. As Portlanders, people needed support. And I'm someone that speaks bilingual in a very intimate conversation. Japanese, some Korean, some Hmong, English, a little bit of French. But here's the thing, I'm someone that actually wanted to tell my story to the public, so people are aware that I'm just like you. I'm just like you. That's why I wanted to do it. There are people just like me going through a system that is not, you know, it's been broken since the first recession. Let's be really honest about that. We are in a system here in North America that the system is broken. I share a couple of things on social media, right? Like this. People, you got people stealing. You got people decapitating their own children. And you got nonsense bullshit like this on social media of African Americans proud that they get free taxpayer food stamps.
My sister got the motherfucking food stamps. My sister got the motherfucking food stamps. My sister got the motherfucking food stamps. My sister got the motherfucking food stamps. My sister got the motherfucking food stamps. My sister got.
If you watch this video, it's degrading. It's so degrading. That's how you feel. This is why our black culture is always being manipulated by the white culture. No offense to white friends of mine, but you white friends understand what this is about. This is about putting us down. All of us, including whites, Asians, Latinos, Spanish, Dominican, doesn't matter, right? But people started flipping out during the government shutdown, worrying about food stamps. Yeah, there are a lot of people that deserve food stamps. But this video here is why food stamps should be only given to those that actually want to participate in American culture. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, okay? What I see African Americans buy with SNAP, I just think it's just the wrong food. But that's just another topic. So I'm explaining a few things. All this activity that you just saw, it's nothing but bullshit. You don't see me bullshitting everybody. You see me day to day, going out my business, staying out of trouble, keeping a neutral stance for everyone. That's what you see. I was even bullied by my employer. Turns out my employer is about to get fired because of a previous incident. He wrote me up, ladies and gentlemen, he wrote me up for sleeping, mind you, closing my eyes for 47 seconds. HR told me yesterday not to come in to work. You can take the day off. Sure, because I need to sleep. Because I got a migraine headache. I still got a migraine headache. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping for 5 days. And I got this nasty migraine headache. Oh, you guys have no idea. This migraine headache sucks. But I want to focus on Mr. Bill Lewis. Mr. Bill Lewis did his background check on me. Mind you, we kicked him out this YouTube channel, but he kept on harassing me by email. So I kept saving every single comment and email since that day. We invited him back twice. We gave him a second chance because he apologized for his behavior. He was wrong. He even admitted, this is why I'm going to share an email with these lawyers. A very important email. He was wrong about me. You're not a bad guy. You're just in a situation like the rest of us. Yes. And I'm in the worst, mind you, New York City is not the worst state. People here make it worse. People that are not native New Yorkers or native New Yorkers, they make it worse. But not choosing the right mayor, not choosing the right fucking decisions. And right now, this city is looking very, very glim. And I'm just sharing a story about how I survived all this nonsense. I'm sharing that I'm surviving within this nonsense without any government assistance. There's a lot of people that don't want government assistance because they know what it is. Really. Do you really know what SNAP really is? I bet you half of you that receive SNAP don't really know what SNAP really is. It's not just taxpayer money. Oops, no. It's not just taxpayer money. You should see why they do SNAP. SNAP is supposed to be a supplement program for those in need, but it's not what you think it is. So I went to apply for a 4th time. I didn't hear back from the agency. I'm pretty sure I was denied. They denied me because I don't have a New York City resident address. I can't prove. Yeah, emergency food stamps only comes if you are in an emergency shelter. One of those crazy New York City, dangerous New York City shelters where most criminals sleep. That's what the criminals hired it. Right now, it's early morning. All the criminals now are getting sleep. They want to sleep. Because they want to rob me, they want to rob you, they want to rob everyone that looks like they have something that's valuable. So, ladies and gentlemen, not to get off track with the narrative, I sit here and tell my story so you guys can understand I am a survivor just like you are. I don't see no one making content like this. I do not see anyone other than Jake McCollin. If you know who Jake McCollin is. Now, Jake McCollin is a YouTuber, a skateboarder. Mind you, he was homeless, but he had issues. He had a drug issue, and he cleaned his shit up. But he's still homeless, living in his car. But guess what? Mind you, he has got a new car. He's got multiple jobs, and still people still pick on him for living in his car. And I'm telling people, the war is getting expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, 20% of people as of 2025 are now homeless because they've been evicted because people want to take, mind you, the real estate here is growing. They want to build condominiums and luxury homes, but they don't want to build affordable housing. They do not want to build affordable housing. Think about that. Instead, they want to sit on empty apartments. Now, Haya is a New York City housing authority here in New York City. Some people do not want to live in these higher buildings because if you've recently seen a collapse on one of these buildings are very old. They wasn't meant to survive no more than 50 to 70 years. And there are people in the Bronx right now without any heat because of that collapse. And mind you, they gotta live in the cold. They got no heat. They can't even cook their food. No heat. So, ladies and gentlemen, I tell my stories. I wake up every day. I wake up every day to let people know that I'm still alive. I'm still going through some stuff. And I always would need help from the people. But recently, I've been harassed. I've been tormented again by the same person, Bill Lewis. Mind you, we let him in. Then he started acting up again. Then we kicked him out. Then we let him back in. He started feeling guilty, wanted to donate. Yeah, he felt guilty, wanted to donate now. But guess what? Recently, out of nowhere, like a month ago, mind you, I made a video talking about my struggles with my employment and everything. There was nothing wrong. I was paying my rent. Mind you, my rent went up by $515. We had to make choices, right? So I'm sitting here trying to ask my audience what choices I should make because my rent went up. Should I just save my money for something else because I'm going to need it? But at the same time, I was going through some stuff medically. Trying to find out what was wrong with me. Why I'm throwing up constantly. Why am I constantly throwing up green bile? Why am I constantly having these migraine headaches? All these abnormal pains in my stomach? Why do I have blood in my stool? Why do I feel fatigue when I'm eating? Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I got fucking stomach cancer again. It returned. So I've been saving up all of my money. Since October, I've been trying to save my money for this surgery alone. If you go to my GoFundMe, you can see that I'm 92% supporting myself on GoFundMe. Like I said, I don't have real friends, real family. And the people that are donating in that GoFundMe, I barely met these people. I met maybe 3 people out of those donations. And I'm sitting here every day trying to figure out, am I ever going to actually get a proper, recovery this time? Because the last recovery was fucking terrible. This one is going to be 3 to 8 week recovery, which I don't look forward to. But I'm being harassed for telling my story. I'm being harassed for letting people know that you're not alone. There are people out here that are really trying to do the right thing without being victimized by the internet. And Mr. Bill Lewis here decided to threaten and call my ex-girlfriend, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you some clarity. Mr. Bill Lewis here decided to leave an email message, which I shared on social media, and people are very disgusted by it. I posted it everywhere. He said that what happened to E. Lee, she deserved to be SA. She deserved to be beaten to death. You think that's right to say that about a woman? Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, she wasn't like a Kim Kardashian or a fucking Jennifer Lopez or a Halle Berry or who. She was, mind you, I chose to take care of someone that had a special need. I didn't care about that. This young lady came to me one day and said, "You're handsome." I'm like, "Really? Thanks." I didn't think anything of it. Because I date a lot of Asian women. Right? I've been married to Asian women, right? I didn't think anything of it, but when I found out she had a crush, I'm like, oh wow, I don't think I can do that, right? Because mind you, I was kind of at the time being discriminatory towards her. Yes, I was being very discriminatory towards E, because I knew E wasn't normal, and I was contemplating like, nah, that wouldn't work, man. But you know what worked? When Eve said really nice things about me. That's what made it work. Ladies and gentlemen, she wasn't the smartest, she wasn't the brightest, but she was one of you, a woman with rights to protect. She was a woman that was SA and then beaten and left dead in a park. Ladies and gentlemen, when I found out, I did not want to talk to anybody. I was going through my own phase when I was in San Francisco because I had regret. But Mr. Lewis decided to harass me and say these things in the email. And then he said that's why you dated a retarded woman. That's not very kind to say. Especially you're a married man yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, and then when I proposed, I'm getting sick of this. I'm going to do what I did to John Piera. I'm going to do what I did to Michelle Gibson. I'm going to serve this guy. I know where he lives. I got his address and everything. That's the power of the internet for you. Know how to use the internet to get public information. Most people don't know how to do that, and they got a fucking $2,000 phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't threaten Bill Lewis. No. I'm sick of it. I'm going to serve Mr. Bill Lewis with a cease and desist and a restraining order. Mind you, he backed off with this message. Why don't you just save your money? I have my say, and I would no longer have any contact with you. Now you're backing off. Because you know what I'm about to do is facts. You know what I did to Michelle Gibson hurt her in her career. That's her fault. She claimed to be a lawyer. Turns out, that's kind of true. But one thing is that you don't threaten people because people are having a struggle time trying to fight the system. On top of this, everybody, we're trying to fight this system that has been corrupt since the first recession. This is the United States in America. Nothing is free and nothing is fair. So Mr. Blue Lewis here leaves a message last night. And then he leaves another message talking about he got lawyers in his family. Please do. Because guess what? Your family and your lawyers are going to say, why did you say this? Why did you say this in 2022? Why did you say this in 2023? Why are you provoking violence towards this person? See? That's what your lawyer is going to say. You don't know me, I don't know you. And you came to me, Mr. Lewis. See, that's where you fail, and this is where I win. Like I won with Michelle Gibson and John P. Harrer and Nick Lashalik. And look what happened to the Swedish dickhead that was trying to make money off of my stories. You don't see him making videos anymore. I wonder what happened to his ass. Exactly. Same thing is going to happen to him. Same thing is going to happen to you, Mr. Lewis. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lewis here has been harassing me for the wrong reasons. I'm surviving. I'm trying to survive life itself. Life can do many, many things. It can change its mind and says, you know what, I'm going to deviate your life course. I'm going to change your life course to, you know, I'm gonna. It's like the movie. What's that movie that just came out with the comedy drama movie with John? What's his name? With Keanu Reeves. He's an angel, and mind you, he takes one rich person, he takes one poor person, and he switched lives. You should really watch that movie because it actually really hits home. If you guys don't watch that movie with Keanu Reeves, he's an angel. It just came out. It's a pretty good movie that explains the struggles and why corporations don't care about people. It tells you and it explains about how the poor person has to struggle every day doing a 9-to-5. You should really watch that movie, Mr. Lewis. With Keanu Reeves. He's an angel. Look it up. Watch that movie. He swaps lives. He takes the poor person, gives the poor person the rich person's life, takes the rich person, and mind you, these people are aware they have switched lives. You should watch it, and it's going to make you think about what you did, Mr. Lewis. It tells the truth about how America is today. It's a broken system that doesn't care. You got these corporations violating the 14th Amendment like Target, going to violate government and U.S. passports now. Well, this location here in Long Island City. Every other location is accepting. And that's why I called Target and said, when did your Long Island City location become a franchise? You're not a franchise, Target, you're a corporation. They didn't know that this Long Island City was making their own rules. That's why I said, when did you become a franchise? I didn't know you were Subway or fucking or what is that? Domino's or what's the other one? This Little Caesars franchise. I didn't know you guys can make your own rules because each store can make their own rules. They can kick any customer out. That's a franchise. They can deny service. They can say no, we don't accept that. Here, go to another location. But Mr. Lewis had no right to be harassing me for the wrong reasons. Mind you, he donated money, everybody. Guilt money. I call it guilt money. Even everyone's calling. Michael Collins called you out. And Michael Collins is a Marine. Mr. Lewis, a veteran. Phil, Melissa, everyone's calling you out, Mr. Lewis. Everyone's helping me get legal services to defend myself against you. There are people in this audience that want me to get legal services. So I can actually serve you with these papers. Mind you, they're going to be faxed to your county, and your local sheriff is going to just, mind you, go to your address and knock on your door. Don't sit there and say, this is not you, because it is you. This is not a threat, everyone. I want to continue to tell my story, because there are people out there that pretending to be something they're not. Because if that's the case, I should be doing the same thing. I should be hiding all of my shit, right? Because most people try to hide their homelessness. Yeah, you got people out here right now acting like they got money, but they're actually really fucking poor. Talking about I'm pimping, I'm always swagging, I always got bread. Sure you do. Either you're a street pharmacist or you're doing something illegal. But as I said, everyone, Mr. Lewis had no right to say those things about my deceased girlfriend or continue to harass me, because you want control. You're going to use your donations as a way to manipulate me? Be my guest. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? During the fucking pandemic, I spent my own savings on people that I didn't know when I was staying at the Northwest Portland hostel. I can go back to that hostel and get a free stay. Jim and Britta wants me to visit because I helped them build up a clientele, even though they've been there for years. They've been there for years. But during the pandemic, if you watch any of my videos, they had me in my own room, right? Because, you know, you have to quarantine. You had to quarantine. If you didn't quarantine, you couldn't stay there. So everybody had to be separated, right? But guess what? When people were staying there, they were like, man, I'm about to be homeless, man. I'm about to be on the streets of Portland. And no one wants to be on the streets of Portland. Nobody. I know what the streets of Portland are like. Nothing but drugs and nothing but stealing from each other. The homeless steal from each other all the time in Portland. Nobody wants to be homeless in Portland. So I decided to take my savings and whatever money I had to help people. Alex was one of those people. Greg was one of those people. What's that fucking name again? Oh, right there on the tip of my tongue. So, and there was a young Caucasian lady, and she stole money from me during the pandemic from the hostel and then disappeared. I'm still trying to find this young lady. So I'm like, I know where you are now. Yeah, I'm still looking for her because she disappeared. Maybe she is homeless. Maybe she has a drug problem. But she lied about everything. About she was in Korea, and I was like, 안녕하세요. She was like, what does that mean? I was like, you say you was in Korea, so you didn't learn any Korean? That I didn't get. But ladies and gentlemen, I was supporting people that I did not know at the hostel. I let them stay for an extra 2 weeks. I paid for their stay. And I paid so we could all hang out and have some fun. If you look at the videos on during that 2020, between May 2020 and September 2020, I was supporting people at that hostel. I didn't do it for clout. I didn't do it for fame. I did it because, like, I felt bad. My heart, my feelings, my soul felt guilt. Because I was once there. Because I'm the only fucking child. I got no family, no friends. I didn't want to make friends that way. I just wanted people to know that I'm willing to give, regardless of if I don't know you or not. People helped me become who I was. So I think it was only fair to help people, you know, be sheltered. I can't do it for the rest of my life. But do I feel regret that I don't have money anymore? No. And you guys are probably going to say, mind you, Mr. Lewis said some things in an email about my parents. You don't know shit about my parents. Everybody knows my parents. They can tell you. Everyone here can tell you. They're not the very fucking most open-minded, stubborn. They are very stubborn people. They might force about it. They're stubborn, bro. They are super stubborn. Everyone can tell you. Even my ex-wife can tell you. Holy shit. That's why we broke up. This is why we got a prenup before we got married. This is the main reason why we got a prenup. Because My fucking family was like arguing with her family about finances, bro. Finances. All this is about finances. And yeah, we argue about it. Yeah, it made us argue. And this is why I was like, yeah, you know what? I still love you. I think it's best that we go our separate ways and see what happens then. And then I separated. And then 1 year later, I meet E. Even though I'm still messing around with Yuki, I met E. And then I stopped messing around with Yuki because I told Yuki I met someone. She's like, really? Right, Yuki? You wasn't too sure about this young lady. He's like, but she doesn't have a job. Even Yuki was discriminatory against E, saying that she doesn't have a job. Like, she doesn't. You sure you want to do that? I'm like, I don't know. She was being nice to me. Like, she wants to hang out. So, yeah, I invited her over. Ladies and gentlemen, I invited her over for dinner. This was our first date right here. This was our first date. She came over to my place, and mind you, she was teaching me how to cook Hmong food. Hmong, Hmong. She taught me how to cook Hmong food. It was fun. It was amazing. So, our relationship kicked off there. And then when I moved, she wanted to just come over to the new place. And that's when I told her, you could come stay with us forever. She said, but you have a roommate. I'm like, my roommate knows about you. My roommate's she's not mind you, she's not misled about who I'm dating. Mind you, she's Japanese. So keep that in mind. All of my fucking college friends got used to E. They were like, E is so nice. She cooks for you. She cooks for us. She's cooking for my classmates. She's literally cooking for my classmates, everybody. And Mr. Lewis, you had no idea. E was happy. I was happy. But what I'm not happy about is being harassed for doing the right thing. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, out of all these years, I could have just gave up. I could have started gang banging. I could have just said, fuck it, I'm going to rob someone. I could have just gave up 3 years ago when I came here. But no, I wanted to keep my head up high. I wanted to keep a neutral and keep the peace among the people in solidarity. But no, I'm still being bullied for being in a place where it's called poverty. I'm poor. There's nothing I can do unless I win the lottery, and I don't want to gamble. And gambling is just a waste of my time. In my opinion, it's just a waste of my time. But I'm being harassed and I'm being assaulted on social media about me being and asking for help. Asking the public for help. Isn't that ironic, everyone? People say, oh, you're supposed to ask for help. But when you ask for help, people literally torment you about it. People literally make jokes. Oh, wow, is it raining? Uh-oh. I just felt a few drops. People want to make fun because you are asking the public for help. So that's the same thing as GoFundMe. Think about it. It's the same thing. GoFundMe, it's the exact same thing. Yes, it is, Mr. Lewis and everyone else that's trolling me. It's the exact same thing. GoFundMe is the exact same thing as asking the public for help. But you're not supposed to, ladies and gentlemen, just make a GoFundMe and just let it live. You're supposed to update it. You're supposed to make stories, update people every day about the progress of that. And that's what I do. But people want to say I'm continuing to beg. No, it's updates. to inform people that I do have a GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise a minimum of 23 grand. Because, mind you, I'm going to have to pay hospital expenses. Then I'm going to have to, mind you, pay rental expenses for my recovery. You think that's cheap? It's not cheap. This is why the medical system in America is a scam. It always has been a scam. And that's why I'm asking people to support my recovery. But I know I'm not going to get my recovery. I know my GoFundMe is not going to hit the mark. So I'm going to be in a very bad situation. I know I am. I'm predicting it because look at the rollerbladers in New York City. I just had an argument with one yesterday for being stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, I knew this guy for fucking over 20 years. He's going to ask me the dumbest question. When the answer is right in front of him if he wants to read. And that's the problem. People don't want to read. They want everything being answered for them. So they don't have to do the hard work, labor. Your eyes don't want to do labor? That's why I asked him. You don't want to read? Mind you, the last time I talked to this person was 2 weeks ago. Right? He's not very courteous on emailing or messaging people on time. Talking about he's busy. So is everyone else. But at least you have the courtesy to email people on the day that they email you or try to call you or respond to you. Because you asked me a question, I respond. I didn't hear anything from you for 2 weeks, and you, out of nowhere, in the middle of the night, you want to message me in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. He is in the military. He is stationed in Hawaii, right? And here's the thing. He knows the time zones. Why are you emailing me at a different time zone? Knowing that I'm not going to see this till probably the next few hours or the next 6 hours. But the message was so idiotic that people on social media was like, what's wrong with Franco? Is he really that incompetent? Not observant to be aware that, like, you got to be responsible. Message people. People try to get a hold of you or something. You should try to get back to the person ASAP. You don't take your time. That's rude. It was rude. Everyone called him out on Instagram yesterday. It was rude. So I showed everybody what he said. And like I said to Franco, you would never in my life, right, Yuki? All you rollerbladers that use me for money, you can keep it. I don't want it because it goes to show you that you guys sit here and say, might you right, Lo Brian? Right, Piff? That's why Piff left New York. Piff is behind betterskate.com. He's a native New Yorker too, but guess where he lives? He lives in the Midwest now. He's a native New Yorker. He's like, yo, Penn, I don't even know why you even back there, bro. People are shady. The rollerbladers are not rollerbladers. They want to think. Here's the thing. I already seen it. I was aware of it, but I tried to ignore it because I'm better than that. That's what I was trying to educate people. I'm better than these people. I'm going to give back to the young people. The cookouts, the free skates. Yeah, the free skate giveaway. The cookouts, the memorial services, all of that, everybody. I did that for the community. I didn't do that for the rollerbladers. I did that for the community. Because there was a community here that helped me. And this is why I kept telling people, and Mr. Lewis, you helped me get here to help other people. You helped me perceive my goals to get here. And you want to portray that goal. That's how incompetent you are, Mr. Lewis. You sit here and you literally supported what I do by helping other people, by partnering up with Starbucks and give away all that fucking free food this summer. Holy shit, everybody. You guys missed that. Free food. Yes, I partnered up with Starbucks. What a rare fucking collab, right? A homeless man collabs with a fucking Starbucks to give out free food. That should prove to you I'm doing something good for the community. People starting to be aware of what I'm doing. But guess what, everybody? I do it not for clout. I do it because I'm there too. I was there. I'm still there. I still know what it's like. When I see an old man walking, when I see old people that are looking for food and they got no food, and they got these signs and they're eating out the fucking garbage, it's degrading. Eating out the fucking garbage. I had to do something. I had to participate in something. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not perfect. I got my flaws. And I'm not no saint. I'm sorry that I don't believe in God. I'm sorry that I'm not that kind of person. I believe in myself. But sometimes I need that mental support from someone else like you in the audience. Because my mental health is not great. I've been going through a lot of stress and a lot of pain. And all I asked was some fucking mental support. And I can't even get that from social media. This is why I gotta go see a fucking a suicide prevention counselor. Yeah, you guys really want to I've been trying to see this suicide prevention counselor. Every day I wake up, I got no one to say hello to, no one to say I love you, no one to say, good morning. But recently I've been talking to Ryder through text messages. But I just want to be fucking left alone. I don't understand why people want to keep tormenting me when I'm not even committing crimes. I'm not out here making fraudulent fucking trying to fraud people. I'm not a law pork. I'm not one of these fucking stupid influencers. Like the influencer that killed the dog. That goes around trying to get free food. It's a shame, everybody. Look at all this free food that Starbucks gave me. Mind you, a whole full day full of Starbucks food. Look at this. Yeah, everybody. Feeding America, one refrigerator at a time. And when I start my 501c3, it's not going to be one of those corrupt 501c3s. I'm going to make sure everyone that works for me, make sure you commit a crime, you make any fraudulent against this organization, I'm going to hand you your ass. Every single donation should go back to the community. There are people that literally need fucking help right now. There are families being put out their homes right now. There are families that don't even have heat in their subsidized housing. There are people that can't even fucking still put food on their table. I can't even pay fucking rent because I have to make a sacrifice, everyone. I gotta sleep outside and save all my fucking paychecks. And mind you, like I said earlier, if you go to my GoFundMe, it's right there. It's right there. I'm literally supporting my own GoFundMe. So sad. But with that said, everyone, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that, like, I'm not the bad guy here. Never was, never tried to be. I know I could be very fucking direct. Because guess what? The Japanese told me to be direct. They taught me how to be strong and not take a mind you, they taught me how not to fucking take a bully. They taught me how to be strong. If you want to blame someone, blame the Japanese for teaching me how to be a strong person. Fuck out of here. They taught me how to, they taught me how. My best friend that committed suicide, that killed himself, because he couldn't find a job. His family calling him worthless and piece of shit, and I don't know if they call him piece of shit, but they were saying some things that were very, yeah. I miss him too. I miss him a lot. But people don't understand. I go through pain too. I suffer. I don't want to suffer, but that's just life. Life has to always have someone suffer, right? And that's the thing. You can be like, I said it myself, that someone like me should have already broken down and just gave up on life. I could have been one of these chronic homeless people that's like, you know what, I'm going to just drink, do drugs, and fuck it. But no, I kept giving you guys progress reports and making videos. Yeah, sometimes I will pick on other homeless people because other homeless people do dumb shit, like robbing other people, harassing people. No, I gotta say something. That's the point. You have to stick up for people that are being harassed by the wrong reasons. But I digress. Now I gotta continue to get this evidence together, so I can get this restraining and court papers together for Mr. Lewis. Because, like I said, I'm suing for damages. Seriously. I couldn't even get a job as a photographer. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you that YouTuber, the Panda Photographer. I heard about you. Yeah, I couldn't even get a fucking job because of Mr. Lewis and Michelle Gibson's tyrant rampage, calling me a fucking drug dealer, a thief, a criminal, when turns out one of you was the criminal. Alex Hankey called himself Alex Bailey, which is not his last name. From Chicago, 3-time convicted felon. You don't see him bothering me. Guess what? Where he is. Exactly. He had his 3 strikes. I still have my 3 strikes. He doesn't have 3 strikes. He used up his 3 strikes by selling drugs to kids, by committing crimes, by doing methamphetamine or whatever that shit is. You believed that guy. Every last one of you believed him at first. I'm like, really? I don't even know this person. Never met this person in my entire life. How would you believe someone that has never, ever came in contact with me? Mind you, he was scamming people. And mind you, I left a video on who he scammed. And mind you, other YouTubers made videos about him scamming other people. And you guys were voting and, mind you, vouching for a scammer. Because this scammer wanted me to scam you. Isn't that ironic? He wanted me to join his scamming affiliate to scam you. I still have those emails. You can make a lot of money doing affiliate. Really. By stealing from other innocent people. Fuck out of here, bro. No. I refuse to do that to you. But no, I'm still being picked on for doing the right thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, just have a good evening, a good day. I'm going to try to have one. I fell asleep right away last night. I was too tired. I was very tired. Because I got a headache. I got a bad migraine headache because I haven't been sleeping. And no, I'm not going to take Advils and Tylenols because I'm not allowed to. I can't. I wish I can, but I can't. I can't mix medicines. And that's why I'm waking up this early this morning. Because I have to take a medicine at 4:30 in the fucking morning. Because of this cancer in my stomach. Yeah, it's making all types of dumb shit. It's making me feel uncomfortable when I sleep. So thank you for supporting. But I really need the mental health support right now, ladies and gentlemen. Because I'm going through some cancer ordeals that I really, you guys have no idea. Every time I fucking eat something, I feel fatigued. I feel like I just want to throw up. It's so fucking, I'm losing weight too. Oh, I'm losing weight. I just want to get this over with. But I still need help. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get the help, but I'm going to have to try it. But with that said, everyone, thank you for supporting. Have a good day.